As you click on this video and see my face and hear my voice, nothing is weird. This technological feat has grown dull on the people today. We're used to seeing people for how they actually look and hearing their actual voice. But if we go back not even 100 years, this seems impossible. Cameras have gotten so advanced that they are considered technologically lacking if they don't offer full video and camera capabilities. However, let's go back to the earliest documentation of the camera. This takes us back to 470 BC, starting with the camera obscura. Camera obscura, or literally translated into dark room, is the reason we have photography today. A camera obscura works by a hole placed in the box or a room so only that light gets in. The light actually shows the outside image but is inverted. Leonardo da Vinci was the first person to give a succinct description of the camera obscura. So the real question is, why am I telling you this? Well, if it wasn't for the camera obscura, we might not have photography today. This reflection of the image onto a wall created the idea that we can capture an image. And with this idea, it expanded. But it wasn't until the 1800s till we started experimenting with actually obtaining the picture. This started with using a pinhole camera, or just a condensed version of the camera obscura, and using photosensitive paper and actually capturing the image on there. But that's just the origins of photography, and it's expanded vastly from there, and that's what really I want to talk about. So now that we learned about the origins of photography, let's fast forward. We're going to fast forward all the way to 1913 with the creation of the first 35mm camera, which is the most commonly used film camera today, and back in the day as well. There are other formats of photography, but 35mm is commonly accepted as the universal film. But how does a 35mm camera work? And how have we gone from 35mm to digital? Well, let's find out. So let's take a look at a film camera. They seem kind of simple, but at the same time, they're very complex. So let's start with the actual loading of the film into a camera. Start. You just pop open the back and load the film in there. But as you see this mechanism right here. So this mechanism is what actually exposes the camera. So once this is closed and the film is loaded in here, you can see the mirror in the camera. This mirror is used to reflect the image onto the actual film. So you wind the film up to where you get it, and then when you click the shutter, it opens up for just a split second and reflects onto the mirror and then onto the film. This is the same concept used in digital, just without the use of film. But so now we know the mechanism, how it works. How does this machine actually capture an image? Well, it all has to do with mirrors and reflections. So once you load the camera with the film and you wind it up, the image goes through the lens right here and is reflected onto the mirror before. Once it's reflected onto that mirror, due to the fact that light comes in upside down and reversed, the mirror is created so it's the actual way the image is faced and not inverted. This way, when you take the picture, you're actually going to get how you see it and not an inverted image. So let's take a look at a digital camera and see what really is different about it. So a digital camera still uses the mirror system found in the film camera to reflect the image to make sure that's right side up and not inverted. However, with a digital camera, instead of the film being in the back, there's what's called a sensor, and that is what's reflected onto the actual, that's how the image is captured. So instead of film being in the back of a camera, there's a sensor, which is shown here. So now that we know how both cameras work, the question comes into play, why would anyone use film? It seems much more difficult and just all around more of a hassle than the ease and convenience of digital photography. Well, that's where the dilemma comes in. With the increasing age of digital photography and how simple it is for anybody and anything to take a picture, the actual artistic medium of photography comes into question. If everybody everywhere is taking hundreds and thousands and millions of pictures each day, what is really considered art at that point? Is any picture taken with any kind of camera considered art? Or is it just another picture in this giant mass wall of digital images? That's where film can be taken an advantage. Film, you have to physically take a picture. You have to create the picture. You have to go through the darkroom process, and that picture is physically yours. You can physically hold a film picture in your hand, which is something that isn't really done with digital photography. Everything's held on SD cards, but what really is that? With a roll of film, you know you're going to get those images. You know you're going to have to develop all them. With digital, you could lose all your images in a matter of seconds and you don't know how to get them back. So, with this current advancement in photography, is anything even considered art taken on digital cameras? Where can we go from here? If digital cameras become so advanced where it's basically looking at things like through human eye, is there any fingerprint in it? Is there any personalization in it? Or is it just seeing the world for how it actually is? The reason people still shoot film is the fact that each camera, each lens, provides a different type of image. Each of these cameras has a different type of quality you get with each picture. It has a rich color set that you can't be obtained with digital photography. This is why people still love film photography. Each film camera is different. No matter if it's even the same make, there's different films that you can get to make a picture look different and have your own artistic touch on it. Digital, however, is just taking an image for how it is. It's not changing anything. It's putting something as everyone has seen it before. And that's why film is special. It creates an image that is never seen before. It has colors, hues, and saturations that cannot be seen by the human eye or might be simply neglected. Film is something that, even though it's overlooked now, is the greatest artistic format in photography. So is this evolution of photography good or bad? Well, it's hard to definitively say either way. It's good in the fact that a lot more people are taking pictures and we know a lot more about our world because of it. However, the true artists of photography that shoot film or digital in their own regards with manual aperture and shutter speed, they're kind of put on the side shelf because anyone can take pictures and kind of discredits them and their work. Even though film photographers can spend hours in a darkroom processing their photos, it's hard to consider that much harder than someone is clicking a button on a digital camera and having the image pop up there. That's why the progression can be good and bad. It diminishes from the art, but adds more people into the realm of photography. So is this evolution of photography good or bad? I can't say. I love taking pictures, and I'll continue to do so, whether or not people are taking them or not. Thank you.